Welcome once again to Community Journal on Channel 18. And as usual, last Wednesday of the month, we have the Harwich Conservation Trust with Michael Lach, the Executive Director, and Matt Cannon, the Outsource Coordinator. So, Matt, I guess you're going to be off talking about the fire brigade.
All right. I like that. Fire brigades. That's how we should have marketed it.
That's a good one. February 28th, this Saturday, here, Harwich Community Center, our last winter talk. It's the 6th of 6 talks we had this winter, and it's on fire as a management tool. We have Dave Crary and Mr. Burke, both of the National Seashore, and they'll be talking about how they use fire as a management tool on many of their properties. Some you've probably been to, like Fort Hill in Eastham. It's a big property they use fire at, and maybe they'll mention other places they've been as well to use fire. So it should be really exciting, and it's a capstone to our great winter talk series we've had this year. 2 p.m. here.
And we won't have any open flames.
No
Don't
open
worry.
flames.
No
Okay.
Real fire. But we'll have a lot of slides, and it'll be a fascinating talk, actually. I'm excited, and Matt's done a great job in recruiting different speakers. We've had everybody from Peter Trull talking about gray seals to Carol Ridley talking about Pleasant Bay. And
I remember that one. She was very good, but that was long.
Yeah, and a woman from Amy Wilmot from the State's Department of Conservation and Recreation talking about turkeys.
Turkeys, yeah.
And of course we had Sophia Fox, who you connected with, the aquatic ecologist, who talked about kettle ponds, and it's just really great, good stuff. Yeah, so this one will be great. So suggested donation $2 per person.
Right.
You know, we keep it really affordable. We won't turn anybody away. It'll be a lot of fun, and we hope to see people here at 2 o'clock.
Very good. Now, what do? They burn the brush?
They try to thin out a lot of the forest on the seashore. So if you go up there, their goal is they have fire roads, and they thin out the forest to make it not a fire hazard. So they'll tell you they thin some trees, they'll cut invasives, but mostly they're thinning, and in some cases it's cultural habitat restoration, which would be Fort Hill. They're bringing it back to a landscape that it was historically at, which was an open field.
So they don't really set the whole place on fire. They more or less go
sections,
around,
areas.
Yeah.
Controlled
They just go
burn,
along
they call
with their little fire guns and set a fire and watch it.
Yeah, drip torches, and they'll use the wind, and it'll naturally go. They'll show you great pictures. I've been involved in AmeriCorps in some of their burns, and it is contained. It's controlled. They have trucks, and they do it properly. But
Very good.
It's neat.
So, next on the agenda is the farmers market.
Farmers, Meet Your Local Farmers event. Don't miss it. Saturday, March 14th, 6th annual. Harwich Conservation Trust co-sponsors it with the Cape and Islands Farm Bureau. And it's a great partnership to bring, you see right there on your screen, Buy Fresh, Buy Local. That's an initiative supported by the Barnstable County Extension Service, part of that sort of local sourced food movement. You'll see some other photos scrolling here from past Meet Your Local Farmer events, even some live animals. Here you see a turkey on the bottom and some chickens up top. We've even had some piglets in the past. We're waiting to see what animals we'll have at this event. But you should know that this is going to be twice the number of exhibitors as in years past. We're going to have more than 40 different farmers from Sandwich to Truro, all here in the Community Center gym.
Right.
2 to 4 p.m.
Very
Free,
good.
completely free and open to the public. It's going to be really fun for people to meet their local farmers, learn about their farms and their special settings where they raise all sorts of different produce and livestock and engage in all kinds of activities on the land. And these farmers will even have wonderful farm-produced goods for sale. Right. So it's going to be a great way to kick off the 2015 growing season. We all know that we need a cure for cabin fever after a long winter, and this is another great way to think spring. So again, Saturday, March 14th, 2 to 4 p.m. right here in the Community Center gym. We'll even have folks from the Cape Cod Spinners who actually, I know, isn't that interesting? You'd think, what is that? Cape Cod spinners. Well, it's actually a group of people who take animal fiber, right, from rabbits or alpaca or wool from sheep, and they'll take those fibers and spin them into yarn, and then they make, of course, clothing from them. So they'll have their wheels spinning right there in the gym, turning animal fiber into yarn and other products. So it's going to be neat. That's just one example of the many different activities that are going on that day. The past 5 years we've had it in the main room here, the multi-purpose room in the community center, and we've kind of outgrew the space. And so we're really expanding the space and of course the number of exhibitors. All of them are listed on our website, harwichconservationtrust.org. You can see the full list. You're going to hear a lot about it in local papers coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun. So come on out and join us March 14th.
Now, in expanding it, are you getting people that you don't have locally?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking farmers everywhere from Sandwich to Truro and in between. Everywhere, yeah.
Very good. So you're going to have pretty much everything that the farmers can grow.
Oh, yes, yeah, and we'll have representatives from the local Harwich Farmers Market as well.
Yes.
Because we know that's a very important and popular part of our local community. So it's going to be really fun, and I can't wait to see all the different exhibits and get to know some of the local farmers, as well as see more of their farm-produced goods. It's going to be fun.
Very good.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Yeah.
And next, I think on your agenda were the owls.
Owls. They're coming back. So
Hey.
Saturday, March 7th, 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 3 p.m., we have live owl programs with Marcia and Mark Wilson, who will come back, and you'll see them there. Mark is actually a retired photographer from the Boston Globe, so he starts the program with an incredible slide program of his photos. It's incredible, right, Matt?
Oh, yeah.
And then Marcia, they're shown with two spectacled owls. They hail from South America, those owls. Now, these owls all have permanent disabilities, okay?
Yes.
They can't be released back into the wild, but Marcia and Mark carry special federal and state permits, which allow them to let these owls live out their natural lives in these special enclosures that they have, special habitats that they've made for these owls, and then bring them around for these unique, one-of-a-kind educational programs, and we're very lucky to host them here on the Cape. Another great way to beat cabin fever. Look at that great horned owl, a local owl, right? Known as the tiger in the woods.
Right.
Beautiful. Those ear tufts, actually just feather structures on the top of the head. The ears are actually more, there are those discs on either side of the bright yellow irises. That's where the ears are, either side of the eyeballs, not those actual tufts that are sticking up. And that's pretty interesting, isn't it? So anyways, you're going to learn all about owls. Matt has been involved with this program not only last year, but in years past through AmeriCorps. It's amazing, isn't it, Matt?
It never ceases to surprise me. It always surprises and entertains. I always come out learning something new, and to see all sizes of owls, from ones as big as a soda can to they've had the great Eurasian owl in the past.
Yeah.
Look at that picture. Yeah, it's very educational. It's fun for the family, fun for all ages. It really gets people of all ages.
Now, how long do they live naturally?
It depends on the owl, but I mean, these owls, of course, a snowy owl. Well, remember we see the snowy owl on your screen. Pardon me for a second, just to reflect back on last winter and how many, so many people got to see up close. That's another beautiful photo taken by Mark Wilson when he traveled to the Arctic. We didn't have to travel to the Arctic last year. They were right here on the Cape. So they'll bring a snowy owl as well. One of our diurnal owls, right? An owl that is out during the day, as opposed to most of the owls are nocturnal, out at night. So rarely do we ever have a chance to actually see an owl. Sometimes we might hear an owl. But now at this program, Saturday, March 7th, we'll see them up close and personal. Now, we have always kept it very affordable. It's $10 ages 12 to adult, and $5 ages 5 to 11. It's really not recommended for under age 5.
Right.
But it's amazing. There's even a hooting demonstration.
There is.
Where
Marcia is
Marcia's amazing,
Yeah.
isn't she? She, with her calls that she does, the different owl calls. There she is again. So it's just a lot of fun. Like Matt said, all ages. Often we have people coming back year after year because they never get tired of it. It's just so fun. And actually, with the hooting demonstration, there's even some audience participation. She'll invite people up to try their vocal cords to communicate with the owls, and sometimes those owls just turn their heads 180 degrees. I'm not going to demonstrate here. Look over their backs at the hooting human. And you don't know, some kind of connection going on there, but they're pretty amazing creatures. So I think we're talking about lifespans. You asked that question.
Yeah.
That's a great question to ask Marcia and Mark. Amazing question and answer exchange that goes on during the program. Very fluid, flowing program pace. I like to say that Marcia. Sometimes I see her, she's got these owls on her gloved hands, sometimes one on each hand, tethered to her wrists. And the owls are just really just sitting there, pretty low-key,
Passive.
right? Pretty passive. Snowy owl's a little more energetic, but the way she moves, she's speaking about the owls. She has the owls on her hands. She's fielding questions from the audience, and yet she's somehow still making her way around the room so everybody can get a good view. It's almost like owl Tai Chi. She's just moving so gracefully, isn't she? I mean, it's just really that's just amazing to watch in and of itself, how she handles these amazing creatures. So it's going to be fun, and we're very lucky to have AmeriCorps helping out that day with setup and making sure the program goes smoothly. And Matt is obviously a leader in that effort too. So it's going to be really fun. Check our website, harwichconservationtrust.org, for details. And join us March 7th for the OWL program.
Well, that sounds like a good program.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like everything's in order.
Mm-hmm.
And you're getting ready for a good show. And so we thank you again for coming
Thank you for having us.
and wish you good luck.
Thank you.